Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I'm homeschool mom to 3. Today's video is going to be all about art. So I thought I would make a video talking about all of my favorite resources and methods that I've used to incorporate art into our homeschool so far. My focus up until this point has really been about exploring creativity. I'm not really very rigid when it comes to art instruction. I kind of will touch lightly on some really simple art terms or techniques, but I really want to focus on kind of giving my kids the freedom to explore art in their own way. So art has always been really important to me as a person. Like, I am a very creative person. I need that creative outlet. I spent most of my childhood into early adulthood drawing and creating art nonstop. Like, it was my passion. And so I want my kids to explore that creativity that they have inside of them. So my kids are very different, and some of them like art more than others. Some of them like specific types of art more than others. Some of them really like to follow tutorials to the T, and they don't like to create their own art, and then others really just want to do their own thing. And so I try to kind of cater to a mixture of that and give everybody something to kind of to go off of. So that being said, I really love video art courses. I think that art is a very visual subject, and I think it helps to see a video and like a picture and something that they can actually look at to really help them understand art and to recreate it and to kind of learn. One of my favorite art curriculums is Art Makes Me Smart, and this was created by Lily and Thistle. We have really loved this curriculum. We used it all last year. We really delved in deep. I love that curriculum because there's a geography tie-in. It's geography based. And so you're exploring a country and the culture and the environment of that country, and then different kinds of art styles that kind of originate or are really well known in that country. And so that was really fun. We had a ton of really fun things, not just with art, but with cooking recipes and just learning about the flag and the culture and just being like exposed to that was really fun. The next curriculum that I love is Yellow Spot Sun. So Yellow Spot Sun is a little bit more into like artists and art history, but also doing projects. And it's a video-based course, and I love them so much. So that you can purchase full-on courses that study a specific type of art or time period. You can also purchase little video single studies for just like a day of art. And I love the way that she teaches the kids. She talks right to them. She makes it really simple to follow along. And she gives you a lot of history about the artist or the type of art and style that you're working with. The next thing that I love using is just YouTube. And specifically, I love Art Hub for Kids. I think that they do a really good job at making art really relaxed and fun for that younger age group. There's a dad who draws with his kids, and they do a tutorial. He breaks it down really simply. And my kids have created such fun like drawings and things from Art Hub for Kids. It's really fun because they'll do, their favorite cartoon character, or they'll do something more realistic. And I can almost always find an Art for Kids Hub tutorial to go along with whatever we're studying, because there's almost always something that ties in because they have so many videos, and it's free and it's fun and it's easy. And this is something I use when I just want my kids to just have free art, free time art. And my kids often actually will just turn that on in their free time just because they want to follow a tutorial. So a couple of years ago, we were using Harbor and Sprout unit studies, and it's been a while since we have done any Harbor and Sprout unit studies, they kind of revamped their curriculum, and now there's a lot of different like separate components. And so their original units, I believe, are called something else now, but I believe they still kind of have them. What I think stood out a lot about Harbor and Sprout unit studies is how they had a separate subject for the theme of the unit. And art was always in there. And I always love to just print out the 4 weeks of art packets and like combine, like do them by week. And we always did the art. We never skipped those. And I always thought it was such a cool way to study different kind of types of art, but not just different types of art or different mediums. They also really kind of got into more of the technical aspect of art, but in like a really cool sciencey type of way. I remember one unit in particular had a whole study on the eye and how light is reflected in the eye and how we see color in the world. And I always thought that that was really cool. There was another one, I think it was the same unit actually, where they focused on photography and how like the exposure of a camera captures an image and the art of photography. And I just always really loved the way that they approached art in their unit studies. Another resource that I always really liked was this book. This is Discovering Great Artists. And this talks about artists in different time periods. It gives you some information about the artist, and then it gives you kind of like a project to try in the style of the artist. And I like using that as a reference book when we stumble across an artist that we're learning about, or if I just decide I want to learn about a certain artist or a certain style, I like to use that for that purpose, kind of as a reference book. I think it's really important to have art reference books so you can look at real works of art and learn more about the people that created the art. Like I said, I kind of keep this really light and I focus more on exploring creativity rather than names and dates and who did what, but I do like to throw that in there a little bit so we can learn about some different artists throughout history, because I think that's important too. I just keep it really light. Going along with that, another thing that I love doing is finding picture books about artists. And I love doing it this way because I have a couple younger kids and they definitely connect more to a picture book than on a textbook or a reference book. And so I like to throw them in because it tells the story of the artist in a fun, cute way with beautiful pictures and illustrations. I think that's a really simple way to do a little art study, a little more history in art, learning about the artist, reading a picture book, maybe looking up some of the works that they did, and then doing a project to go along with it. Normally, I just source our artist picture books from the library. I don't usually buy them. We just pick them up and we read them a few times and then we take them back. But I do have a few of these and I really like this series. So this is Getting to Know the World's Greatest Artists, and they have these for a lot of artists. So this one is about Picasso. And I love this because they give you a lot of background information about where the artist is from. And then they talk about they'll have a timeline, and then they have real photos inside of Picasso, of the different artists, of their works of art and everything. And then they have really simple text. So if you can see, it doesn't flood the child with tons of information. It just gives you some fun facts, easy to remember, simple text. And I love that they just fill the book with the art from the artist. And then they have a lot of comics and stuff in there, which is super fun for kids. And I also like that these are made for kids. So, they're going to choose more appropriate works of art, if that makes sense, because art can be a little risque for kids. And if you don't want your kids seeing some of that, then these will be a good source for you because they're all appropriate. So I love that. And then in the back, they always have a little quiz that you can give your kids about the information about the artist. So you can pretty much just do almost a whole unit study on an artist if you felt like you wanted to, because there's quite a bit of information in here. You could read it, do a week-long study or something, read a little bit every day, or do it kind of like we do, which we always do art on Friday. I definitely recommend these too. The last resource I'm going to talk about that we are actually currently using. So this resource is pretty new to us. We've only done a couple lessons in this curriculum, but I wanted to mention it because we really are loving it. And that is Outside the Box Creation. So Outside the Box Creation is an art subscription service for homeschoolers or for families, and you can pay a fee to have a box shipped to you every single month with all of the supplies you need. There's usually a picture book and then your lessons. You can do it that way, and then every month you're getting a box. Or you can get a digital subscription, which is what we use, which is way more affordable, especially because they have deals often for that, to where you get like half off the subscription for the life of however long you have it, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure if they're running a deal right now, but you could check it out and see. But they do that often. And you can sign up and they send you the digital PDFs every month, a different art unit. And then you just source your supplies. And they give you a list of the supplies. They give you links to the specific supplies that they recommend or are using, but you can feel free to source your own things too. You don't have to get exactly what they have. You can adapt that really easily. I really like it because it explores a different type of art and medium every month. So the one that we are working on right now is chalk pastel, and we haven't actually used chalk pastel ever before. So this is a brand new medium for them, and they get into the techniques of using the actual chalk pastels, which I really like. That's usually the first lesson, is about technique. And then they have 2 or 3 art projects that go after that. So it's about a month of study, and there's video tutorials about what you're doing. There's a lot of information in there, and I love that they explore a little bit of those technical art terms like color theory and different shading techniques like cross-hatching and stippling and that kind of thing, in a very gentle way without going like too intense into the technical terms. We have really enjoyed it so far, and I'm going to keep the subscription for the rest of the year and see like how we actually go with it after we've done a couple months of it, but it's working really great for us right now, and we are loving it. So those are all of my favorite art resources that we have used so far throughout the years. Now, I do have a middle schooler now, and next year I am going to kind of dive in deeper with art with her. So we will probably be using an art curriculum for just her, because now that she's in that middle school level, she loves drawing, she loves art and being creative, and so I want to really hone her skills and teach her new things and get a little more technical with her. So she's probably going to be branching off of our group art studies for the most part and kind of doing her own thing. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about kind of teaching her some really cool new techniques and things, but I'm also a little bit sad because I love our group art time. We've always done it as a group, and I join into, like, I do it right along with the kids every time, whatever it is. And it's like a really fun, enjoyable thing that we do on Fridays every week. And so she probably will still be joining in sometimes when she wants to with our groups. She will, for the most part, be doing her thing on her own. And yeah, so that's a new, I'll talk more about that when we decide on what we're using and how that's going next year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found some resources that might be helpful and might be something you want to use in your homeschool. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye.